In a peaceful village nestled at the edge of a mighty mountain, people would gather in the small square each evening as the sun set. They spoke in hushed tones about a dragon whose mournful cries echoed through the night air. Once full of life and delight, the dragon had become a creature of sorrow when a strange ailment kept it from flying high above the clouds. Most villagers trembled at the thought of the dragon, fearing that in its sadness it might unleash its fury upon them. Yet, among these fearful whispers there was one young boy named Max. He was known for his cheerful nature, his laughter as warm as the sun that rose each morning. Max was not like the others. He did not cower at the thought of the dragon. Instead, he felt a tug at his heart, seeing in the dragon's lament a plea for help. One day, as Max listened to the adults fret and worry, he turned to his mother with a determined look. "I think the dragon is just very sad, Mom," he said, his eyes bright with concern. "Maybe it just needs a friend." His mother, though worried, saw the sincerity in Max's eyes and knew that his heart was big and kind. She nodded, giving him a gentle hug, but said nothing more. Max, filled with resolve, decided that a visit to the mountain was in order. If anyone could bring a smile back to anyone, or anything, it was him. With a loaf of warm homemade bread tucked under his arm and a brave smile upon his face, Max set out the next morning while dew still sparkled on the grass. His heart thumped with every step, but he didn't turn back. Up he climbed, the path winding around the mountain like a trail of secrets waiting to be revealed. As he reached the entrance of the cave, the air turned still, only the rustle of leaves keeping him company. Max called softly into the shadows, "Hello! Are you there, dragon?" From deep within the dark cave came a soft, weary murmur that vibrated like a sad song. Max stepped forward, his voice firm and kind. "I brought you something to eat because everyone feels better with a friend." The dragon slowly appeared from the gloom, its scales dull and its eyes heavy with sorrow. "Why do you come here, little one?" the dragon asked, its voice rumbling softly but not unkindly. "Aren't you afraid of me?" Max shook his head, his smile unwavering. "I'm not afraid. I think you just need someone to talk to. Everyone should have someone to talk to." The dragon, intrigued by the boy's courage and warm smile, agreed to listen. They sat together discussing silly things and everything in between as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with gentle fading colours. Max visited every day, bringing stories, treats, and his ever-cheerful presence. The dragon, who had never known such companionship, found a flicker of hope spark back into its weary eyes. Yet, as the days went by, its great wings still lay limp and grounded, the mystery of their ailment remaining unsolved. Max didn't let this discourage him. Instead, he saw the hope returning, and that was enough, for now, to keep the boy smiling and the dragon waiting for the next visit with bated breath and a heart just a little less heavy. One sunny morning, as birds began their songs, Max noticed a change in the air. The villagers, curious about his daily trips, started whispering about the young boy's bravery and kindness. Some were beginning to wonder aloud if the dragon might not be as terrible as their fears suggested. Over breakfast, Max looked at his mother thoughtfully. "I wish the others could see how nice the dragon really is," he mused, buttering his toast. "It's just lonely." His mother nodded, pondering his words. "Perhaps," she suggested gently, "they need to see it to believe it." Inspired, Max had a plan. He decided to visit the elder of the village, a wise and gentle woman who listened to all with an open heart. He found her in her garden, surrounded by the fragrant blooms she tended with love. "Elder Anna," Max began, a respectful tone in his voice, "I've been visiting the dragon, and it's not mean at all. It's just sad and lonely." Elder Anna looked at him with interest, her eyes twinkling. "Finding one who looks beyond fear is rare, young Max," she said warmly. "What do you propose we do?" Max thought for a moment. If everyone met the dragon and saw its kind heart, maybe they'd stop being afraid, he suggested. Perhaps we could hold a gathering at its cave. Elder Anna smiled, struck by the simplicity yet the brilliance of the idea. "Very well, my dear," she agreed, leaning on her walking stick, "but we must tread gently." Together they spoke to the villagers, sharing stories of Max's encounters. Slowly the hard edges of suspicion and fear softened. Curiosity bloomed like the spring flowers in the square, outshining the fear that had long held them. On the chosen day, with baskets of food and gifts held carefully in their hands, the villagers followed Max up the winding path to the dragon's dwelling. This time, inside the cave, awaited not just a dragon burdened by sadness, but one growing curious and hopeful, eager to meet the people who had once only feared it. The air was filled with anticipation, and as Max entered the cave with his beaming smile, the dragon met him with eyes that sparkled a little brighter each day. As the villagers gathered at the cave's entrance, an air of anxious excitement lingered. Max stood beside Elder Anna, his heart pounding with hope. The dragon slowly emerged from the shadows, its large eyes meeting the curious gazes of the villagers. There was a brief moment of stillness, as if the whole world held its breath in anticipation. "Welcome, friends," the dragon's voice rumbled gently, echoing through the chamber like a distant melody. "I am grateful for your visit." The villagers exchanged glances, surprise flickering in their eyes. They had expected roars and flames, yet here was a creature full of gentle dignity. Little by little they stepped forward, offering the gifts they had brought: fresh fruits, delicious pies, and handmade trinkets. One by one, the villagers began to speak, sharing their stories and listening to the dragon's tales of skyward flights and distant lands seen long ago. Laughter soon bounced off the cave walls, mingling with the warmth of acceptance that grew between dragon and human. In the midst of this newfound friendship, Max's heart soared. He watched as the dragon's eyes began to shine with a light that had long been absent. The creature looked at Max, and with a gentle bow of its great head, it said, "Thank you, young one, for showing me the way back to laughter." Just as the sun dipped below the mountain, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, something marvelous happened. The dragon, feeling the warmth of friendship weave through its heart, felt its wings stir. With a ripple of scales and a whoosh of air, the dragon's wings stretched wide, vibrant and strong once more. Gasps of awe and joy echoed among the villagers as the dragon flapped its mighty wings, lifting gently off the ground. It soared into the sky, a majestic ripple against the setting sun. The villagers cheered, their fears transformed into wonder and love. Max watched with a smile so bright it could rival the sun, knowing that sometimes a simple act of kindness had the power to change not just one life, but many. As the village flourished in newfound harmony, Max understood the magic of a smile, how it could indeed change the world.
If you enjoyed this story, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content.